Welcome into Unbreakable, a mental wealth podcast with Jay Glazer. I'm Jay Glazer, and look, I like to have guests on from all walks of life. Obviously, my life is usually the worlds of football and fighting, so it makes a lot of sense to have a lot of football people on. And I'd say one of the most interesting and dynamic characters now in the National Football League, has been for quite some time, but he's back in the NFL. But this is his first time on the Unbreakable podcast. Welcome in Chargers head coach Jim Harbaugh. How are you, buddy?
Doing great, Jay. Good to see you. Congratulations on your wedding.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it, man. Never too late, buddy. Even a guy like me, it's never too late.
I hope you showed a lot of people that picture of the wedding day with the rainbow over you and your
double
bride.
Rainbow. Yeah. Man. You know, Jim. You know what was the coolest part? So
that's
for
God,
me,
that's God working right there.
That's God work. But you know what's cool for me? I always talk about being in the gray. I call it the gray. When like my depression, anxiety, and the bipolar and ADHD and all of it together. I call it the gray, right? And I wake up every day like that. So when we start getting married, it's just the two of us. We eloped there to Amalfi Coast, and it starts getting gray. And I think the old Jay, who didn't do all this work on himself, definitely would have been in the tank and like, oh, man, why me? And here it comes again. Of course, I deserve this, because that's what it kind of tells you. Like when you're have my sort of fucked upness, it kind of tells you you don't deserve good stuff. But that day I said to Rosie, my wife, I said, you know what? It's just starting to drizzle, got gray. I'm going to look at it differently. Maybe this is like our loved ones crying for us. I'm going to look at it as a good way. And literally I said that and she agreed. And then the skies opened up and gave us this double rainbow to get married under, which is a great thing for me. Like just have a little faith. And sometimes you got to go through the rain to get double rainbows on your biggest day. It was really cool, man.
For sure. Well, congratulations. Yeah. Couldn't happen to a better guy.
I appreciate that, man. I don't know about that, but I appreciate it. So, hey, I want to dive into a couple life lessons here from you. But before that, I do want to ask kind of more culture things.
Yeah.
So you're brought in to obviously redo the culture, if you will, of the Chargers. What's the difference in trying to build a new culture, a college program, which you've done several times, and trying to rebuild the culture in an NFL program, which now you're doing twice? Because, culture is everything.
Yeah. There's really not a whole lot of differences between, building a strong team in college and in the NFL, much like a family. I mean, the same things. Attacking each day with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind together. And so many things to it, but not a lot of, I wouldn't say there's many differences between NFL, college, and your family at home. I mean, your two great loves, right? I mean, those to me are my two great loves, family at home and the family here at work.
But you just said that we're together. There's got to be a difference in how you get a bunch of kids together and a bunch of, I'm not even saying grown men, because they're not grown men. They're all corporations, right? You got 53 corporations you got to deal with and all their issues. So how do you bring that togetherness?
Yeah, I would certainly wouldn't generalize it that way. That's not the way I would say it.
Okay.
Teammate.
But how's the difference in, again, that age bracket is different in what's important to people and how to get them together.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what, why we're brought together in a football team is, to get good at football, to accomplish something remarkable. And to me, I mean, we all have that, we have that desire for something bigger than ourselves, something that is team, that is together. It's just caring about things and not just about yourself. So really the opposite of being 53, corporations, is the way I look at it. I think that's the way most people look at it that are on a team.
I love it. All right. So I want to sit here. There's two things right here I want to hit. First of all, advice, right? I got this card here, Jim Harbaugh's advice, and I love it. And I'm sure you have it in front of you. I probably don't need to have it. Do you have it?
Yeah,
right there. Okay. I kind of want to go over this because I want to teach people this, because I think there's great. Look, I think a locker room and what you can learn from football. Like, I think the rest of the world's messed up and a locker room's not.
Yeah.
Locker room, but you could joke about anything. You could, whatever it is, but man, you will fight it out and love it out. And you got no problems in the locker room. It's over in 2 seconds. So there's so many football lessons that equate, and we're talking about building mental wealth that equate to building mental wealth for the world. So let's go over this. Let's start first. You have, do you want to say it? Do you want to go through it?
Go ahead.
Okay. So Ted, right there every day.
Okay. Yeah.
So I want you to dive deep in all these, man.
Okay. Ted, there every day. That's an acronym. Ted is the acronym for there every day. And it's just something about being there every single day. There's no question that you get better at football by being there. It would take a bone sticking out of your body for you not to play in a game, and for your teammates to know that you're going to be in that same seat, sitting there every day. People can count on you. There's just something about that speaks volumes for what kind of teammate you are. And I think the first thing that people look for in a teammate, when what's in another person's heart, are they for us or are they for themselves? I think that's the first thing we try to detect. And, dogs are really good at it. Dogs are, really good at, finding out, what's in somebody's intentions are, are they going to be nice to me? Are they going to feed me? Are they going to hurt me? Are they going to take care of me? And human beings are 900 times better at detecting and, what's in another person's heart. And that's really the first thing that we, in that locker room, that team setting that we want to find out about somebody else. Are they about themselves? Or are they for us?
So it's really, if you sum it up to, it's consistency. You're looking for consistency. You know what you're getting.
Yeah, they're every day.
All right. I love that. Is there a way to coach that, or is that innate?
That's a good one. I mean, I think everything is a way to, we're always a work in progress, right? We're always either getting better or we're getting worse. So, I would say that's, something that can be self-coached. I mean, there's self-talk, but it also can be coached in by somebody that you respect, somebody that you trust, you believe in. So somebody like a coach, a teacher, just a professional, really. I mean, who's the expert? Who's the expert in is it a doctor? I mean, if there's something wrong with me, I want to get the advice of my doctor, right. My personal physician, not my butcher, not my barber, not the internet.
Definitely not the internet.
Who is that expert? And the way I was raised, here's how I was raised, Jay, by my dad, Jack Harbaugh. Whoever the expert is, then you listen to that person and you do what that person tells you to do. And if you do, you will be successful because they know the subject matter better than you do.
I love that.
Whether that's the professor, whether that's the coach, certainly would be the doctor would be my recommendation.
Okay. I love that too. I think or don't know. I started coaching mixed martial arts in like 2007, and teams started sending us players, and just we teach guys the fighter mentality. And I would teach football players the fighter mentality of that grind and grit, and just being relentless, and it's your honor to fight hurt, and a lot of body language stuff, trying to wear guys out. And then I would have the football players teach our fighters sport IQ, because fighters didn't know how to watch film or look for little tells. But I would tell these teams, look, I think there's 10% of the world. This is why I asked about the coaching. I think 10% of the world, they are just gangsters, right? They are, Aaron Donald and James Harrison and Larry Allen and Chuck Liddell and Randy Couture, man, they're there. They're Jim Harbaugh, right? And then 10%, nothing we can do. 80%, you can go either way. You can coach them up toward that 10%, or they could fall off to that bottom percent based on who's around them, based on that consistency you're talking about.
Yeah, I think you're at a real deep message there that I completely get as well with the way you're going. I was going to ask you, so in the fighter, what kind of fighting was it? The MMA?
Mixed martial arts. Yeah, MMA. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, did you had somebody that did you have a favorite coach, a favorite teacher, somebody that
so
really?
So Randy Couture changed my style. 6-time heavyweight and UFC heavyweight, light heavyweight champion of the world. But back in the day too, and these guys, Jim, I think I was the first guy in the NFL to actually fight professionally in MMA, and back in 2003. So I started wrestling in 82, boxing in 88, and then MMA and like the start when there were no rules. Like I had fights early on, and I was allowed one headbutt around before I got deducted a point. There's no unified rules. I made $130 a fight, and it was fucking awesome because I chose to take those 3 steps up. I knew like it made me different than 99.999% of the world, but it's this grind, it's this mentality. It's it's this wrestler's mentality of it's all the work you put in when no one's watching. No one watches wrestlers. It's like we're sitting in cafeterias, right? It's just all this work over and over and over. That's our glory that we're doing this, and we're doing this for our brothers on our right and left. Yeah. Like we had a bunch of fights that we go into, and talk about Randy Couture, like. Man, we knew he was going to lose his, let's say, last fight or couple. He fought Brock Lesnar one time, and he was hurt going in, and we got our asses kicked every day going into that. Just okay, we're there. We're walking that walk with him. It's a different breed, but it's this what we teach for these guys, for the football players. We do a lot of leverage work, right? So a ton of wrestling. There's something called pummeling, where you've got to get low. It's all leverage. Greco-Roman wrestling, you can't touch below the legs. It's all upper body, but it's all hips. So we do a lot of that. We do a lot of hand fighting with these guys to make, we teach violence basically and make everything hurt a little bit more. But it's that mindset of that game starts or that fight starts, that cage door locks. Yeah. You make that guy across from you beg to get out of that cage. Yeah. If you get football players to think like that, they will shine. Yeah.
Well, I can see how passionate you are about it and how important it is to you. And that's really the message. It's like me. I was trained by my dad, Bo Schembechler, Mike Ditka. I mean, men of that I really looked up to, that were coaches. High school coach Earl Hansen, Clem Weiser. I could go on and on. Lindy Infante. Some of the best. And what I did was I listened to the instruction. I really heard it, and then I embraced the instruction wholeheartedly. And then went and executed the instruction to the best of my God-given ability, and then became a coach myself. Like yourself, you were trained by one of the best, and now you train others, and that's really what I've been doing. That's kind of been my progression, my whole life since I was a little kid to a player to now a coach. And I think the key, as a coach now. As you're given that instruction, as long as what you say doesn't conflict with what you do, then you can gain that. You can be productive, and you can have that trust.
I just before we get back here to your advice Randy gave me not too long ago, and it's just the evolution of our competitors, I guess, if you will, and how you have to talk to guys now. Probably about 2 or 3 years ago, we're training a fighter, and he's driving me crazy. Kept dropping his hands, and we don't that's the other thing too. Like our fighters in between rounds don't take a stool. We don't show anyone we're tired, and it's by the way, we don't show we're tired. We don't show we're hurt. You will never ever know. We're relentless, which is the complete opposite. That I'm trying to get everybody to act in life now is, hey, something's going on with you between the ears, talk about it. Call a friend, let people know, right? But this one fighter was just kind of, man, I've been working for a while, and he kept dropping his hands and kept getting hurt. And finally, Randy said, hey, don't tell him what you don't want anymore. these guys feel like you're bullying them if you tell them what you don't want. Only tell them what you want. And so what do you mean? He said, don't tell him not to drop his hands anymore. Only tell him to keep his hands up. And I don't know if you can make that change, but you need to, because today's athlete views it differently.
I don't know. Here's what I do know, though. I can start. I'll give you 3 examples. Yeah. Just on our team here at the Chargers. J.K. Scott, our punter, great player. Great guy, great man of faith too, and a great family guy. He came up. He told me the other day we're in a conversation. He said, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all things will be added onto you." Justin Herbert, we do not have. I have never come across a guy that is a better leader, a harder worker, more like selfless guy, especially at the quarterback position. I mean, I've never encountered one like this, and is just doing anything and everything he can, every single day to help our football team. Derwin James, our safety. Oh, yeah. It took me a day and a half, Jay.
Right, he's one of the guys I train.
Great job. Great job.
He actually tore my bicep tendon, so screw him.
You talk about Justin Herbert, Derwin James.
Tell me what you're going to say. It took you a day and a half for what with Derwin?
Okay, day and a half to realize, okay, just do it. Everybody, just look at Derwin James and do exactly what he's doing. Right. How he approaches the meetings, the training environment, the practice, everything he says, what he wears. I mean, it's everything is just to the highest standard, and he brings this joy and this enthusiasm. Yes. It was like, what are some of the examples, Coach? Can I wear a hoodie underneath my jersey, or can I have my T-shirt out? Past my. I go, I don't know. Why don't you look at Derwin? Look at Derwin James. See how he's working. There is a true professional, one of the best, the very best in the game, and just this mindset and the way he attacks and goes about his business. And it is anything and everything for the team to be successple. So maybe I've just been lucky, Jay. Maybe I've just been lucky because I had guys like Michigan who were just like that. Blake Corum and Junior Colson and Trevor Keegan and Zach Zinter.
Yeah, but that's the easy ones. That's not the guys. The other
AJ
side
McCarthy.
Of it. You're talking about the easy ones, Jim. Come on now. They're not all like that, dude.
That's the way.
They're not all like Derwin, or else they'd all be in the Pro Bowl.
Well, yes. Hey, you know what though? The smart ones will be like Derwin. The smart ones will be like Justin Herbert, because just pick a guy. Pick a guy, that's really doing it the right way, the best way, that's having success. And just, here's some simple advice. Just watch him, and then emulate him, and then go make that person proud of you, because
I like that. I love
that's going to be your best self, really. The hanging around the Johnny Frick-arounds, right. The undisciplined guys, the guys that are, on some bullsmith, 4 or 5 nights a week, going out doing, not taking care of their bodies, not taking care of their family, their God-given responsibility. That's not your best self. Right. So it could just be that simple, Jay, to just watch Derwin James,
find out who the best is and do more than them. Yeah.
Emulate him, and then go see if you can make him proud of you.
Man, I love that. I always say, find out who the best is and do more than them, but I never thought about that. Find out who the best is and make them proud of you. I love that, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I don't think there's any way anybody's going to go surpass Justin Herbert. It's just like, but yeah, you could emulate him. Yeah. You could watch him. You could try to keep up with him, and try to make him proud of you. That would be enough. That would be enough for,
By the way, Derwin has this thing where you're right, he is so grateful for the coaching, for the improvement. He honestly, man, he's one of the favorite dudes I've ever not just trained, but been around in this league my entire life.
That's what I get to go to work through
Such a
every
good
day,
dude,
right there.
right? Yeah.
It's the same. I mean, you just want to like rub up, rub shoulders. Give me some of that. What you got?
Give me some of that magic. Yeah, Derwin. No
Yeah,
doubt. He is such a good dude, man. He was like, and we have a great community where we are too. He's like, thank you so much for bringing me into this community. I said, Derwin, of course, man, you're great. You lift us all up. He goes, no, I want you to hear me. Thank you for this. Like, who does that? Like, he is such a great.
I'll give you another example. Today, this morning, we're Derwin, Justin, and I think Ben Herbert's going to come with us too. We're going to go down and see the Navy SEALs.
Right. Yeah.
And I asked them if they wanted to go, and Justin, yes, that would be a tremendous honor. Derwin James, yeah, let's go, coach. Let's get that. Now I'm so grateful to the men and women that protect our country. Let's go. Not like let me check my schedule. Let me see what I got to do. That's a long day, coach. We got mandatory mini camp later tonight. Just like let's go get it. Let's go get it. Let's get that. Same way they approach practice. Let's get this work, coach. Let's you ready? Let's go. That's those kind of guys. And there's others. I got J.K. Dobbins. He's another kind of guy. Just you've been around J.K. You know what I'm saying. And I got so many favorites already. Rashawn Slater and Zion. Zion is amazing. Scotty Matlock. I could go on and on. Of Joey Bosa's been just a thrill to be around. Khalil Mack is just the same kind of guy. Just watch him, emulate him, see if you can go make him proud of you.
I love that. All right, I'm going to get back to your advice here. 4 keys to happiness in descending order, according to Jim Harbaugh. Pick a job you love. Don't get bitter. Get better. Outwork your competition. Marry wisely. Like I tell my daughters, don't marry dumb. You can't trust dumb with the decision they will make.
Pretty much right there. Yeah, that's some key advice. Just some things I've learned, but the one thing you said in there, don't get bitter, get better. To me, there's so much in that one right there, and it's really just changing the I to the E, right? Don't get bitter, get better. Don't be the victim, be the hero. I mean, if somebody's going to write their story, say they were a novelist and they were writing they write novels, they write books, like on they could be war books, they could be cooking books. I mean, they're going to write in the same kind of genre. It's not going to dramatically change. So I mean, you could be writing your own book. I mean, it's going to be that you're the hero. You're going to come out the hero. Every time, or you could be writing it the other way, like you'll always come out the victim. I'm the victim, and this pattern really creates itself. And to me, it just comes down to that, okay, victim or hero. Don't get bitter, get better, change the I to the E, and write it in. You're going to, find the way to be the hero of your own story. And you talked earlier about, some of the things that, have broken, or heartbreaking. I mean, people used to tell me that, like, it's heartbreaking. It was a heartbreaking loss. It was a heartbreaking, thing that happened. But does it have to be heartbreaking? I mean, that sounds like that's like it's over. It's done. I mean, there's nothing that can be, that's the end. The heart breaks. I mean, heart doesn't work. You're out of business.
Right.
But yeah, there's a way. There's a way, and I think the best strategy is don't get better, get better.
I love that. Contemplating career move. Jim Harbaugh says, do what is best for your family, you personally and professionally, a place where you'll be happy and productive, and where you are wanted, and they like what you do and how you do it.
Yeah. How's that hit you? Is that hit you right, or?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that because you hear so many people, they're in a job and they complain, right? And it's just like, man, then you just get stuck in this vicious cycle all the time. So even if it's you got to make yourself, and you say if you're going to be happy, you're going to be productive, right? You've got to somehow. How do we? You got to. Is it you always work on yourself to make sure you shift that narrative, get yourself happy?
Actually, I was working on something this morning. It's just, I mean, it's really, see how this hits you. It's like, yeah, it's just a mission really to look at yourself or someone else and what they're capable of producing, for a team, whether that's the family team or the team at work. Really you have your talent and health, that mental and physical, mind and body, that we're blessed with. Minus, I'm turning this into an equation, minus, flaws or injury that you might have. I mean, everybody has flaws. Nobody's perfect.
Sure.
And in football, we're always working through something, it seems like. So talent and health minus flaws and injury, plus problem solving, know-how, ingenuity. Humans are really good at that, right? They're really good at fixing things, ways to make it right, finding that way. Minus excuses. Those are a detriment to problem solving. And then minus distraction, maintenance in your own life. Just that, higher the maintenance, the lower your production is going to be. The lower your maintenance in your life, the higher your production is going to be. So minus that distraction, maintenance in your own life. And then plus motivation times how hard you are willing to work to achieve something. So equation would be talent and health minus flaws and injury, plus problem solving, minus excuse, minus distraction, plus motivation times work ethic equals production capabilities. So my only thought after doing that was confidence. Confidence is going to be a major factor in there, or lack of confidence. And really, whatever confidence you have is going to be an addition, except for terminal insecurity or the big head. I've got all the answers. I'm there. Because that big head's a trap, a deep, dark, lonely trap. So that's a little equation. I just kind of work on, how can you work on yourself? What can I be improving on? What are I can lower distractions in my life. I can, I can eliminate excuses. I can lean on my ingenuity, making it right, finding a way, fixing things. I can, flaws that I have. I mean, which ones can I, work through, improve, which ones can I, find a way to, hey, just not, limit their impact, as a player or a coach. And then, really the positives I do have, really accentuate those, the talent and the health. I mean, God willing, and the creek don't rise. I've got all today. I've got today. I've got these 24 hours to grow as much as I can and get as much done as possible. And how will I know that I did as much as I could when I go to sleep tonight, when my head hits the pillow? If the muscles are sore, the mind's aching a little bit, I've sweated, then and my head hits the pillow and I go right to sleep, then I know I did all I could for my team at home and my team here at work.
Man, I love that. I love that. Really love that. Really love that, man.
I appreciate it. I'm trying to turn it into an equation, like a real math equation, but I lost my excellence in math right after long division. So.
I was going to say, yeah, you're talking to the ADHD guy who could pay attention in class.
Hey, I think I do too. I think I do too.
Yeah. Hey,
it's
you're beyond ADD. You got
Huh?
LMNOP. You're beyond ADD.
But it's a great way to see the world, isn't it?
Yes. I love. Yeah, absolutely. No doubt. Hey, different is good. Right. So, all right, we got so far advice from Jim Harbaugh. There every day, the consistency, right? 4 keys to happiness. Pick a job you love. Don't get bitter, get better, which I love. Outwork your competition. Marry wisely. Contemplating a career move, right? Do what's best for you and your family, personally, professionally. And then I think we hit this one already. Follow the direction of those in authority. You said that earlier, right?
Yeah.
That's your next one here. Seek, such as a parent, teacher, coach, or employer. They're the expert and know the subject matter better than me. If I do what they say, then I'll be successful. Listen to the instruction, embrace the instruction, execute the instruction. And your last piece of advice, I really love this. Keep doing you. It's working. If you want to get a little better at something, work a little harder at it. Whatever you do, don't get a big head. That's a trap. You just said that. A deep, dark, lonely trap. But I love the part of keep doing you. It's working, especially a day like today. So many of us look, and especially with social media, you're comparing yourselves to everybody else's fake, filtered fraction of 1 second of one day, and you're like, man, right? I'm not doing enough. My life sucks. This is terrible. And Jim, this is, if you can get people to understand that more, keep doing you. It's working. Man, that could help so many people.
Yeah, you just said it. You just said it great. Yeah, you and I would say first off, what's the, on the flip side, the number one thing, and like that's it right there. Seek first the kingdom of God, and all else will be added unto you. I mentioned that J.K. Scott had mentioned that to me just the other day, and I was like, yeah, that's I think that's where it starts in my opinion. And then, do you? It's working, Jay. It's working. Look where you're at. Look where the where the college football players I coach. You know how hard it is to get to college football. And then to be a professional football player. I mean, you're doing good. You're doing well. And if there is something you want to work on, just work a little bit harder at it. And whatever you do, don't get the big head. And I say the same thing to high school players. Football is mostly what I know, right? So that's what I keep using examples of and talking about. But as my brother John Harbaugh said, he's never met, and I've never met a high school football player that played for 4 years of high school football and ever regretted it. I never heard anybody say, I regret playing football for the last 4 years. And I've heard some guys say, wish I'd have played high school football, but maybe that's another subject. But whoever you are out there, keep doing you. It's working. You want to get better at something? Work a little harder at it. And whatever you do, don't get a big head.
I tell people all the time, hey, you got to love yourself up, which is what you're saying here. Love yourself up. Appreciate who you are. That's great, man.
It's all good. Great. An attitude of gratitude, is a wonderful thing, and it's been great. Like being. Where do you live, Jay?
I live in Malibu.
Okay, so you're here in California.
Yeah. Oh, you and I'll be hanging. Trust me.
I love it. It's been great out here. I love it too. I've spent it seems like half my life in the Midwest, half my life in California, and I love both. And a lot of people say how nice the people are in the Midwest. Genuine, down to earth. I think that California, it's right there with the Midwest for how people treat you. They treat you good, they treat you nice, and probably the number one factor here, they let you be who you are, in California. So, I appreciate that.
Yes, absolutely. It's funny. I moved here from New York, and I would say the biggest difference is in LA and again, Malibu, when somebody bumps into you and says, excuse me, they really mean, excuse me. That's not how it was in New York.
I've always had good interactions in New York. They're cool too,
I got 2 questions for you because I know you got to go head down to the military, which I love doing. I do a lot of work in the military, start a foundation called MVP, which you guys, the Chargers have actually helped out a lot. putting former combat vets and former professional athletes together in transition to help when the uniform comes off. When you lose that locker room, life could get a little scary. So try and put them together. So just two more questions here for you. One football and then one life. And by the way, the fact that we do live in, LA now, we'll definitely hook up. I will definitely let you pay for some dinners. I have no problem with that. We'll be good with that. We'll bring you up here to Malibu a couple times, but bring up Justin Herbert. You've been around a lot of great quarterbacks, a lot of great players.
Yeah.
Where is he different or better or than everybody else you've seen? Like, man, you said earlier, like, man, you're not gonna be able to do more than him.
Yeah.
What is it about him that's just different than every other quarterback you've worked with?
Okay. I mean, I guess the only way I can say it is, I mean, so my whole life I've been, I've been looking at you look at other quarterbacks. I mean, it's the same position that I played, right? So from the time 7 or 8 years old, when I go out to the punt, pass, and kick competition, I mean, the first thing you do is start sizing everybody up, like, well, he can throw it farther, or I can throw it farther than he can, or I can run faster than him, or do it. Then when you're on a team, right? I mean, you're on your Pop Warner team. Who are the other guys trying out for quarterback? Let me check them out. Like, where can I get better? Where do I need to get better? Go to high school, it's the same thing. Well, he's probably better than me right now, but if I can chip away at this, and then college, same thing. Okay, I'm not going to start as a freshman, but here's the good things that quarterback does. Same in the pros, just on and on. And then as a coach, I mean, that's innate in me, is to watch quarterbacks and fundamentally see, like, can I beat this person out or not? Where do I need to get better as a player? Versus what I'm already better than him at, and what maybe I can widen that margin. So yeah, Justin Herbert, that quarterback is like, man, I would take any gene in his body and trade immediately, right on the spot. Colin Kaepernick, I remember watching Colin when he's in college. Like, he'd be tough to beat out, So now I want him on my team, Justin Herbert, to me, it's like, wow, I've never seen anything, quite like, his talent, his intelligence, his work ethic, his mindset. I mean, there's just, I can't find any flaws. And then, I watch him, and this has all been going on in, watching in shorts, where, shorts and helmets and stuff. But I've seen him in pads. I've seen it on the tape, him doing the exact same things. But yeah, I'm blown away. He's been in, I think, 3 offensive coordinators in 3 years. I mean, he's got this stuff picked up, down, and everything, motion landmarks, snap count, and not to, I haven't even mentioned throwing. I mean, this guy can, throw like an incredible arm talent, and he can run. The athlete that he is, he could be a tight end, easy, or an edge rusher even. I mean, he's
really
kind of athletic, strong. And then, he did a conditioning test last week. He smashed it, literally smashed it. It was easy, and he just was sprinting at the end, way in front of, of all the other big skill players. It's amazing. And then he's got this. I mean, it's like, then it's all about the team. It's like he really tries to downplay, his him personally and lift others up, as opposed to trying to push others down and lift himself up. It's just, so good in every, and then he'd probably come in and like get mad at me for saying this, because he's one of those guys that, really wants the spotlight shown, on somebody else. But yeah, that's my assessment right there.
Hey, I'm blown away that
I've never been around anybody better.
Really?
Incredible. And then in the training environment, like I said, him, Derwin James, and there's been others, but I mean, those two have been here every day, every minute, every hour, every minute, have been completely engaged in whatever we were doing, whether it's the training environment, in the weight room, the meeting room, or out on the field.
I'm blown away that you said Justin Herbert could be a defensive end.
He could be an edge rusher. He could be an
Really?
edge rusher, stand up edge rusher. Yeah, Joey. He's not that far in strength from like a Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack. But
Wow.
he's that type of strong, athletic, incredible athlete.
All right. Last question, Coach. I appreciate you giving me a little extra time there. I ask all my guests this. Give me your unbreakable moment. The moment that should have broken you, could have broken you, it didn't. And as a result, you came through the other side of that tunnel stronger forever.
Oh, that's a great question. And like I told you, I don't know that I really have one. Whenever I say to myself, like that self-talk, or if it's don't get bitter, get better. I know there are some. I know there's some out there that would have, but it's like when you trip and fall, you get back
Basically,
up.
the biggest piece of adversity you've been through.
Yeah, you just get up and make it right. I almost like look at it like, maybe a lesser man that might have killed a lesser man, or a lesser athlete, might have.
I say, it didn't kill you. It made you
might have
stronger.
went
That's
down.
my point. Yeah.
I don't know. There's definitely some there, but that I guess I'm proud of, innerly proud of that I was, able to overcome.
That's my point. That's what I'm asking for.
Oh, an example?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking for.
There's. I'll have to get back to you on that. I don't have that list in front of me.
So you're going to do another podcast? Is that what you're telling me?
Huh?
You're going to do another podcast? Is that what you're telling me?
We'll do another one. I'll see if I can. I'll put that list together. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, I guess there's just, take some, good. Feel good about yourself that, you can get through it. You can
be proud of your scars. That's the point. Like,
our
scars are
I love it. You got the broken arm, got the crooked arm, you got all kind of stuff. Yeah, maybe some things that should have broken the heart but didn't, and maybe a lesser man would have fallen down, or a lesser athlete would have gone down, but I stayed up, kept my feet, and kept charging to the goal line. That's it. I think that's what we're all trying to do, right?
Coach, man, I appreciate you, brother.
Stay alive on the wedge, Jay. You love special teams, right?
Yes. There you go.
Now they kind of reduced that wedge a little bit, but that's back in the old days, the 3-man wedge, and it went to a 2-man wedge. I mean, somebody had to go in and fly into that wedge, and that was tough to do. It's just all we used to say was just stay alive on the wedge. Just keep your feet. Stay alive, that's all. Eat up those blocks, and sometimes you even make the tackle. But let's just keep doing that. Just remind me of that too. And if you ever need a friend, reach out. Just stay alive on the wedge, Jay.
I like that, brother. Jim, man, I really appreciate it, man. Have fun down there with the SEALs today, man. They're a special group, man. You guys are special too. You got special people over there. Like I said, you and I will definitely break some bread out here in Cali, brother.
Sounds great. Appreciate you having me on, Jay.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate you. God bless.
God bless.